Love, unrequited, robs me of my rest. Love, hopeless love, my ardent soul encumbers. Love, nightmare-like, lies heavy on my chest, and weaves itself into my midnight slumbers.
When you're lying awake with a dismal headache and your repose is tabooed by anxiety, I conceive you may use any language you choose to indulge in without impropriety. For your brain is on fire, the bedclothes conspire of usual slumber to plunder you. First your counterpane goes and uncovers your toes, and your sheet slips demurely from under you. Then the blanketing tickles you feel like mixed pickles, so terribly sharp is the pricking. And you're hot and you're cross and you tumble and toss till there's nothing twixt you and the ticking. Then the bedclothes are crimped to the ground in a heap, and you pick 'em all up in a tangle. Next your pillow resigns and politely declines to remain at its usual angle. Will you get some repose in the form of a doze, with hot eyeballs and head ever aching? But your slumbering dreams are such horrible dreams that you'd very much better be waking. For you dream you are crossing the channel and tossing about in a steamer from Harwich, something between a large bathing machine and a very small second-class carriage, and you're serving a treat, penny ice and cold meat, to a party of friends and relations. They're a ravenous horde, and they all came aboard at Sloane Square and South Kensington stations. And bound on that journey, you found your attorney, who started that morning from Devon. He's a bit undersized, and you don't feel surprised when he tells you he's only 11. And you're driving like mad with this singular lad. By the by, the ship's now a four-wheeler. And you're playing around games, and he calls you bad names when you tell him that ties pay the dealer. But this you can't stand, so you throw up your hand, and you find you're as cold as an icicle. In your shirt and your socks, the black silk with gold clocks, crossing Salisbury's plain on a bicycle. And he and the crew are on bicycles too, which they've somehow or other invested in. And he's telling the tars all the particulars of a company he's interested in. It's a scheme of devices to get at low prices, all goods from cough mixtures to cables, which tickled the sailors by treating retailers as though they were all vegetables. You find a good spadesman to plant a small tradesman, first take off his boots with a boot tree, and his legs will take root and his fingers will shoot and will blossom and bud like a fruit tree. From the greengrocer tree you get grapes and green pea, cauliflower, pineapple and cranberries. From the pastry cook plant, cherry brandy will grant apple puffs and three corners and banberries. The shares are a penny and ever so many are taken by Rothschild and Baring. And just as if you are allotted to you, you awake with a shudder despairing. You're a regular wreck with a crick in your neck, and no wonder you snore, for your head's on the floor, and you've needles and pins from your soles to your shins, for your flesh is a creep, for your left leg's asleep, and you crab in your toes, and your fluff in your nose, and some fluff in your tongue, and a feverish tongue, and a thirst that's intense, and in general sense that you haven't been sleeping in clover. But the darkness has passed, and it's daylight at last, and the night has been long, ditto, ditto, my song. And thank goodness they're both of them over.
I am much distressed to see your lordship in this condition.
I am here in two capacities, and they clash, my lords, they clash. I deeply grieve to say that in declining to entertain my last application to myself, toward Phyllis to myself, I presume to address myself with language which renders it impossible for me to ever apply to myself again. It was a most painful scene, my lords, most painful.
This is what it is to have two capacities. Let us be thankful that we are persons of no capacity whatsoever.
Come, come. Remember, you are a very just and kindly gentleman, and you need have no hesitation in approaching yourself, so that you do so respectfully and with a proper show of deference.
Do you really think so?
I do.
Well, I will nerve myself to another effort, and if that fails, I resign myself to fate.
If you go in, you're sure to win. Yours will be the charming maid, Iolanthe, the ancient saw. Faint heart never won fair.
Never, 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 faint heart never won fair lady. Every turn he has
answer your horse and don't say die. He who shies at such a prize is not worth a man of any. Be so kind to bear in mind, faint heart never won fair lady. Never, 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 faint heart never won fair lady. While the sun shines, make your hay, where a will is there's a way. Beard the lion in his lair, none but the brave deserve the fair.
I'll take heart and make a start, though I fear the prospect's shady. Much I'd spend to gain my end. Faint heart never won fair lady. Never, 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 faint heart never won fair lady.
Nothing venture, nothing win. Blood is thick, but water's thin. In for a penny, in for a pound. It's love that makes the world go round. Nothing venture, nothing win. Blood is thick, but water's thin. In for a penny, in for a pound. It's love that makes the world go round. Nothing venture, nothing win. Blood is thick, but water's thin. In for a penny, in for a pound. It's love that makes the world go round. Nothing venture, nothing win. Blood is thick, but water's thin. In for a penny, in for a pound. It's love that makes the world go